Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special episode on LearnEnglishPodcast.com. My name is Wason, and I've been an English teacher for many years. Today, we'll discuss the essential art of speaking English with clear pronunciation and genuine confidence. Together, we'll explore practical tips, common hurdles, and powerful strategies for mastering both clarity and assurance.
Hi there, I'm Lydia, thrilled to be your co-host. I've guided numerous learners toward fluent, natural speech and boosted their self-confidence along the way. In this dialogue, we'll share everything from tackling tricky sounds to overcoming hesitation. If you're ready to speak more boldly, you've come to the right place.
Let's start by emphasizing why clarity is crucial in English communication. Even if you're brimming with advanced grammar and a robust vocabulary, unclear enunciation can disrupt understanding. When your words aren't articulated properly, listeners may miss key details or get frustrated. That's why clarity underpins all effective speaking.
Exactly. And remember, confidence is just as important. When you sound self-assured, people tend to lean in and truly engage with your message. On the other hand, if you speak timidly, they might suspect you're unsure about what you're saying, even if your grammar is perfect.
Those two elements, clarity and confidence, often go hand in hand. The clearer you pronounce your words, the more confident you'll feel, because your listeners respond positively. That positive feedback loop reinforces your sense of mastery. Ultimately, it helps you communicate with far greater impact.
Absolutely correct. Think of it like a performer on stage. If they project their voice and appear confident, the audience applauds. But if they mumble or seem anxious, even well-written lines can fall flat. Likewise, for language learners, a clear, confident voice makes listeners pay attention.
Now let's delve into the typical challenges learners encounter. One big issue is the pronunciation of specific English sounds. For instance, many find the TH in words like think or thought extremely tricky. Others struggle with the difference between R and L, especially in right versus light.
Yes, that's a common hurdle. Additionally, some learners speak too quickly, hoping they'll sound more fluent. Ironically, racing through words often causes confusion and undermines their message. Slow, measured speech can actually project more confidence and clarity than rushing ever will.
Mumbling is another frequent problem. Some people keep their mouths too closed or speak too softly, particularly when they're shy. That leads to words blending together, forcing listeners to guess what was said. Learning to articulate each sound properly is essential for overcoming that.
Then there's the classic fear factor. Anxiety about making mistakes in front of others. This fear can be paralyzing. Learners might know the right grammar or vocabulary, but hesitate so much that they lose opportunities to practice. The confidence gap ends up holding them back.
Exactly. We always encourage learners to embrace errors as part of the journey. Even native speakers slip up occasionally. The key is not to allow fear of imperfection to silence you. Consistent practice and a willingness to improve are what ultimately propel you forward.
Right. Now that we've outlined the main challenges, unfamiliar sounds, excessive speed, mumbling, and fear, we can move on to discussing practical fixes. Step 1. Focus deeply on listening. Before you can reproduce a sound accurately, you need to hear it clearly from native speakers.
That's where podcasts, audiobooks, and everyday conversation become invaluable. By immersing yourself in authentic English content, you'll begin tuning your ear to the subtle nuances of pronunciation. Be mindful of stress patterns, intonation, and how certain letters change in connected speech.
A great exercise is shadowing. You listen to a short sentence, pause, then repeat it exactly, copying the speaker's tempo, pitch, and rhythm. It's like you're an echo. This method trains your mouth and vocal muscles to replicate native-like patterns, boosting fluency and accuracy.
Absolutely. And if particular sounds keep tripping you up, isolate those. Practice them deliberately until they feel natural. Watch videos, read about tongue placement, and record yourself. Compare your recordings to standard pronunciation. Over time, your brain and mouth will coordinate better.
Speaking of recording, it's a powerful feedback tool. Many people feel shy listening to themselves, but it reveals small errors you might not catch otherwise. You can detect if you're dropping final consonants, rushing syllables, or mispronouncing vowels. Then you can systematically correct them.
Exactly. Another seemingly simple tip is speaking slower. This not only helps you enunciate properly, but also gives listeners a chance to absorb your words. Rather than feeling your speech is dragging, consider that clarity tends to sound far more authoritative and confident.
I also urge everyone to open their mouths more. English often demands pronounced lip and jaw movement, especially when forming vowels like A in cat or O in not. If you barely move your mouth, you might end up mumbling, reducing clarity and impact.
Precisely. So these are critical steps. Listen actively, shadow native speakers, practice tricky sounds, record yourself, slow down, and open your mouth. Now let's tackle the confidence aspect, which is just as important in achieving effective communication.
To build confidence, start by speaking every single day, even if it's for a short time. Routine practice desensitizes you to anxiety. When you only speak once a week, you remain perpetually nervous. Daily exposure helps normalize the experience and reduces apprehension.
Another tip is talking to yourself in English. Describe your day, your feelings, or anything that interests you. Because there's no audience, you won't fear judgment. This habit also shifts your internal thinking from your native language to English, speeding up fluency.
Precisely. Thinking in English rather than translating in your head gives you a more natural flow. Translation can cause pauses and second-guessing, which undermines your confidence. The more you immerse yourself, the less you'll feel the need to revert to your mother tongue.
Also, never underestimate the power of watching yourself speak. Standing before a mirror and delivering a short monologue can highlight your body language, facial expressions, and mouth movements. Confident posture correlates with confident speech, reinforcing a positive feedback loop.
And whenever possible, engage in real conversations. Language exchange partners, online speaking groups, or local meetups all provide valuable interaction. The chance to respond to spontaneous questions and use real-time expressions builds skills you can't develop through purely scripted practice.
That's right. Meanwhile, remember you're listening to LearnEnglishPodcast.com, your source of guidance and motivation. We want to remind everyone that confidence doesn't appear overnight. It grows gradually through repeated attempts, feedback, and small victories.
Exactly. No one speaks perfectly at the start. Comparing yourself to others can breed discouragement, so focus on your personal growth. Celebrate every step, whether it's pronouncing a word correctly for the first time or having a brief conversation without freezing.
Now let's share some hands-on exercises that can accelerate both clarity and confidence. First, there's shadowing, which we've described in detail. Pick a favorite podcast clip, maybe around 10 seconds, listen closely, pause, then repeat, matching every detail of intonation and rhythm.
Next, try reading aloud. Grab an article or book chapter and read it out loud, focusing on crisp pronunciation. Don't race. Instead, maintain a comfortable pace where you form each sound clearly. This helps solidify pronunciation patterns while reducing stage fright.
For those who love creativity, acting out dialogues is wonderful. Take a movie script or a short scene from your favorite show. Perform the lines with full emotion. By impersonating characters, you can experiment with stress, pitch, and pace in a fun context.
And let's highlight the importance of recording yourself. Choose a simple topic, set a timer for a minute, and speak non-stop. Play it back, identify weak points, then record again. Consistent improvement will emerge as you make small but significant adjustments each time.
The mirror method also deserves mention. Face yourself, pick a random topic, and speak as though you're explaining something. Observe any tension in your jaw or limited mouth movement. Practice more relaxed, open articulation, and a confident, friendly expression.
For pronunciation challenges, tongue twisters are a classic. Lines like, "She sells seashells by the seashore," or "Red lorry, yellow lorry, test your agility." The repeated tricky sounds force your mouth to adapt, improving dexterity and clarity while adding an element of playfulness.
Let's not forget impromptu speaking. Grab a random topic, set a timer for 2 minutes, and just talk without prep. It might be something mundane like my daily routine or my favorite weekend activity. Spontaneity helps conquer the fear of on-the-spot expression.
With these exercises in mind, let's tackle a big question. How do you maintain motivation so that progress doesn't stall? Learning English is more like a marathon than a sprint, so we need methods to stay energized and focused on consistent improvement.
Exactly. One method is setting realistic, bite-sized goals. Instead of, "I want to be fully fluent soon," say, "I will practice a 10-minute shadowing session daily for a week." These micro goals are attainable, offer clear targets, and deliver a sense of accomplishment.
Celebrating small wins is key, too. Maybe you held a conversation without reverting to your native language, or you pronounced that tricky "they" sound perfectly a few times in a row. Acknowledging these achievements keeps your momentum strong and your spirit high.
Also, try to make learning enjoyable. If you rely solely on grammar drills, it can become tedious. Watch English sitcoms, listen to songs you love, or play language learning games. Injecting fun into your study routine makes you more likely to keep practicing.
Another powerful tactic is joining supportive communities. Whether it's an online group, local meetup, or a structured language exchange, you'll be inspired by others' progress. You'll also have a safe place to share your struggles and celebrate your breakthroughs.
And please, don't fear mistakes. They're stepping stones toward fluency. Think of them as markers guiding you on what needs work. Every stumble is an opportunity to refine your approach. Without mistakes, you'd never know which areas demand extra attention.
Remember, listeners, you're tuned in to learnenglishpodcast.com, where we guide you through each step. If you ever feel discouraged, revisit these tips or connect with fellow learners. Together, we can maintain motivation and keep pushing toward better communication.
Now, let's consolidate the critical points we've covered so far. 1. Clarity ensures people understand your words without strain. 2. Confidence reassures listeners you know your subject. 3. Common challenges include tricky sounds, excessive speed, mumbling, and fear of making mistakes.
4. To improve clarity, immerse yourself in listening practice, do shadowing, target difficult pronunciations, slow your pace, record yourself, and open your mouth. 5. Build confidence with daily speaking, thinking in English, self-recording, mirror work, and real conversations.
6. Practice specific exercises like reading aloud, acting dialogues, using tongue twisters, and impromptu speaking. 7. Stay motivated by setting small goals, celebrating wins, making learning fun, joining communities, and embracing mistakes. All these elements work together for real progress.
That comprehensive breakdown captures our entire roadmap. It's a systematic approach ensuring you won't get lost. Adapt these methods to your schedule and learning style. The key is consistency and genuine effort, even if you have just 10 minutes daily.
Right. Now, to help everyone truly internalize this, let's propose a quick 3-day challenge. Pick 1 or 2 exercises, maybe shadowing and impromptu speaking, and commit to them daily for at least 5 minutes each. Track your comfort level and pronunciation improvements.
I love that idea. Short, focused practice sessions can be transformative. By the 3rd day, you'll likely notice you feel more at ease and less hesitant. This initial boost of confidence can inspire you to continue practicing well beyond that period.
And remember, progress might seem slow at first, but every step counts. The cumulative effect of small improvements eventually translates to big gains. Language learning isn't about perfection, but about consistent growth, so acknowledge even slight advancements.
Exactly. If you ever feel stuck, loop back to these exercises or dive into new topics. Switch up your learning material to spark renewed interest. Variety keeps your brain active and invests you in your continuing development. That curiosity fuels improvement.
Let's not forget the mid-episode reminder, Lydia. Everyone tuning in right now is listening to LearnEnglishPodcast.com, where we empower you with proven English learning strategies. We hope this session is motivating you to speak up confidently and clearly.
Absolutely. And that's why we emphasize the importance of building strong fundamentals. Good pronunciation and self-assurance allow your vocabulary and grammar to shine. When people effortlessly understand you, they focus on your ideas, not on deciphering unclear or timid speech.
Before we wrap up, let's remind our audience to stick around for a final recap of the main ideas and keywords. We want to ensure you leave this podcast fully equipped with actionable insights. But first, let's add a few advanced tips.
Sure. One advanced technique is purposeful intonation practice. English often conveys meaning through rising and falling pitch. Recording and comparing your intonation patterns to native speakers can elevate your expressiveness. It not only enhances clarity, but also makes you sound more engaging.
Another tip: focus on connected speech. In natural English, many words blend together, creating liaison sounds. For instance, would you can sound like would ya. Recognizing and practicing these reductions can make your speech smoother and more authentic, boosting comprehension on both sides.
That's a game changer. Also, consider rhythm and stress. English is a stress-timed language, meaning certain syllables get heavier emphasis. Incorrect stress can confuse listeners, even if individual sounds are correct. Learning common word stress patterns can drastically improve your flow.
Let's not overlook body language either. Even in audio-only settings, your posture affects breath support, which influences projection. In face-to-face interactions, gestures and facial expressions reinforce your confidence. Standing or sitting upright, with open shoulders, fosters a stronger, more assertive speaking voice.
And as you advance, try varied speaking opportunities. Join debates, present topics to friends, or record short video clips. Confronting different scenarios refines your ability to adapt quickly. Diversity in practice leads to well-rounded communication skills across multiple contexts.
Now we'll provide our final words, plus a concise summary of everything we discussed, so you can internalize it. Then we'll invite you to subscribe to LearnEnglishPodcast.com for ongoing lessons, resources, and encouragement on your English journey.
In summary, clarity involves careful pronunciation, controlled pace, and deliberate mouth movement. Confidence emerges from daily practice, reduced fear of mistakes, and a focus on personal progress. Address tricky sounds with targeted drills, harness recording and mirror methods, and foster motivation through small goals.
Keep in mind, advanced strategies like intonation exercises, connected speech practice, and stress awareness can further refine your fluency. Experiment with different platforms, acting dialogues, speaking clubs, or real-life interactions to broaden your exposure. Always maintain a relaxed yet upright posture for optimal vocal projection.
As for motivation, celebrate small triumphs, seek engaging content, and never forget that errors guide you toward improvement. Engage with communities that share your dedication because collective support accelerates success. Keep your enthusiasm alive by rotating learning methods and celebrating each step.
With that said, here are the key takeaways for quick reference. 1. Clarity, vital for listener understanding. 2. Confidence, elevates your message and engagement. 3rd challenges, difficult sounds, fast speech, mumbling, fear. 4th, solutions, listening, shadowing, slowing down, opening your mouth. 5. Exercises, reading aloud, dialogue acting, tongue twisters, recording.
6th, impromptu speaking, promotes spontaneity. 7. Motivation, realistic goals, celebrating wins, fun study methods. 8. Communities, encourage practice and feedback. 9. Mistakes, embrace them for growth. 10. Advanced tips, intonation, connected speech, stress patterns, posture, and varied practice opportunities.
There you have it, our comprehensive formula for speaking English with clarity and confidence. If you apply these insights consistently, you'll see progressive improvement. You won't just speak better, you'll feel more relaxed, empowered, and ready to converse about a variety of topics.
Thanks, Wason, for summarizing everything so thoroughly. I'd like to remind everyone once again that you're listening to LearnEnglishPodcast.com, the platform designed to help you grow into a strong, self-assured English speaker. We believe in your potential.
Indeed, Lydia. Now, before we finish, we want to encourage you to put all these strategies into practice. Start small. Perhaps read an English article aloud today, or record a brief audio diary about your schedule. Make it a habit, not a burden.
And if you feel hesitant, remember that confident communication is a journey. No one expects perfection from day one. The most important thing is showing up and trying. Little by little, those efforts accumulate into noticeable, lasting progress that shapes your future fluency.
Exactly. Language learning never ends, but with the right approach, it becomes more enjoyable and rewarding. Hopefully, this entire conversation has given you practical ideas and the inspiration you need to push forward. That's our goal here at LearnEnglishPodcast.com.
So, dear learners, if this podcast helped clarify what you should do next, feel free to share it with friends who might also benefit. The more people we can help gain clarity and confidence, the better. Let's keep building this vibrant community together.
And now, as promised, here are the keywords and main ideas to close out our session. Clarity and confidence, two fundamental pillars of effective communication. Common obstacles, difficult sounds, nervousness, mumbling, and speed. Techniques, shadowing, slow pace, recording, mirror method, tongue twisters.
Building confidence. Talk daily. Think in English. Record yourself. Use a mirror and practice with others. Exercises. Reading aloud. Acting out dialogues. Impromptu speaking. Motivation. Set small goals. Celebrate wins. Enjoy the process. Find supportive communities and accept mistakes.
With these summarized points in mind, you're set to embark on a more structured path. Keep referring back whenever you need a refresher. Learning a language is a continuous journey, but staying focused on the fundamentals ensures steady, tangible progress.
Thank you so much for being part of our conversation today. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to LearnEnglishPodcast.com. By subscribing, you'll be the first to hear our newest episodes, packed with tips, interviews, and engaging English lessons.
That's right. Subscribing also helps us reach more learners, so we can continue providing free, high-quality content. We appreciate your support and love hearing about your successes. Please let us know how these techniques work for you and never stop practicing.
Thanks again for tuning in. Remember, speak clearly, speak confidently, and most importantly, speak as often as you can. We hope you found this dialogue insightful, and we look forward to guiding you again soon. Until next time, take care and happy learning.
Bye, everyone. Keep practicing, and don't forget to subscribe to LearnEnglishPodcast.com for more tips and support. The path to excellent English is right in front of you, so stay motivated and keep speaking up. You've got this.